Hi there, my name is Shanna Dethi. I'm here at the Digital Health Summit live studio at CES. I'm here with Martin Matak. He's the founder and acting CEO of Vert. So Martin, what is it for you to be at Digital Health? You're a fitness company, right?
Yep.
So you're doing fitness tech this year.
Yep.
What new are you doing in the fitness world that we should really know about?
Yeah, so the biggest thing is we launched Vert 2, which measures intensity. So the best way I can explain that is when the step counting world came out, this is the next step, no pun intended, and it measures your real effort. So every movement that you do, there's a G-force with that movement.
Right.
We tell you what that G-force is and we accumulate it. So an athlete or a person doing an aerobic exercise or anything will be able to see how many G-forces they exerted in their body in that event. So like with step counting, if you walk 10,000 steps, if I did it all day long or an extreme athlete did it in 15 minutes, his effort was a lot more. And our technology allows you to actually see that intensity, that effort.
So let me ask you a question.
Sure.
So we all hear that jumping rope is a great form.
Absolutely.
So jumping rope versus walking, where steps might count each jump as a step, right?
Yep.
But your application would count that as more intense than me walking around the block.
Right, and the other thing, like last year when Apple was about to launch with their Apple Watch smart technology, we came out with jump rate. So tying it all in as well is we can actually show you the real jump rate while you're doing it in action and say, hey, you did 125 jumps in a minute, which is really hard to do for someone who's not actively fit. But to be able to increase that level, now the next thing that we did is to tell you each G-force of that jump and that jump rate. So when you start accumulating that data, now you know what your effort was, and here's what the intensity of that was.
So how do we get to our data? Is it just all smartphone apps? Are you iOS and Android and other platforms? Tell me a little bit about that.
So right now we're on iOS. We're going to get into other platforms, and the reason why we're getting to other platforms is because part of the experience that we did is we built this architecture for broadcast TV. So being able to take our data and put it on Jumbotrons or broadcast on ESPN was our big shift. And so we've built this architecture where it's also Wi-Fi based. So we can actually port that information anywhere. A person could be at home doing that jump rope, and we have some other stuff that's coming out. It's going to be really exciting with that particular exercise, but see that on the smart TVs. It doesn't have to just be on their iPad or phone or watch.
Well, let me ask you this question. I'm an avid hockey fan, right? So one day, will I be able to see whether my players are really playing? And so right now I might say, gosh, he's like skating flat, or he's having a really bad day. Will I actually then be able to relate it to a number?
Yeah, if the leagues allow that type of information, I'm sure it's going to be very confidential. But what is happening with us in the volleyball world and the basketball world, not yet the hockey world, is people use it for injury prevention. And so what happens before that big game, is, you want to let it out in the big game, but before that big game, you're practicing and you don't want to overdo it. And sometimes the tendency is you have this amazing practice and you want to do the same thing the next day, right? But now with analytics, you don't want to overkill it because you need recovery. Your body needs recovery. And so what's going to change in this industry is, and we're seeing it now with these high-level teams, is the ability to say, instead of doing these drills, let's do these other drills that we know are lower intensity. And you can still have this amazing practice like you did the day before, and that momentum is there before the big game, but you're not really hurting the players. You're really you're managing the injury prevention side. That's the big shift with all of this. But I think you can only do it when you have multiple analytics. In our case, we're doing jump measurements, intensity measurements. When you tie in heart rate, you can really see what's going on with the condition of the player. I think you need to tie in all those things instead of just one generic number.
Wonderful. So how can people find out about Vert, and where do they go? Do you have a website?
Yeah, so everything's on myvert.com. We're the official wearable of USA Volleyball. Really rooting for them when they go into the Olympics in less than 8 months. So, but you can go on myvert.com, all the information there, or follow us at Twitter at Vert, V-E-R-T.
All right, well, thank you so much for visiting with us in the studio. We're great to have you. We're here live at CES at the Digital Health Summit studio.
Thanks.